Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Ron, your local resident bug. And today we've got a deck profile for you. Specifically, we've got a Berucrea. If I could get my camera to focus, but you know, close enough. We got a Berucrea deck profile. The newest Stoicheia deck out of the DZ series, because Xerath hasn't come out yet. And yeah, let's hop right into it. Let's do this deck profile. At the very end of the video, I've got some general upkeep that I want to do. Stuff relating to my channel, what's going on, some things I've got planned, some stuff I've got kind of in the works. As per always, my channel is not a, oh, I'm trying to get popular online. This is just kind of a documentation of my personal Vanguard history. So I've got some stuff going on for myself that I want to do. So you might see some of that soon. But without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. Right, yeah. Whoa. Welcome over to the deck. End of sentence. Welcome to the deck. So we've got our Berucrea ride line. Let's get into it. We're going to take some pauses to go over some other stuff because it's important to the deck. Starting, we've got Future Magic Caster Berucrea. It's your standard D series starter, you know, if you went second, draw a card kind of thing. She is cute, you know. The ride line does tell a story, so take note that she is clearly wanting to be a mage. Sounds goofy as hell to say that, but it's just true. Like, it tells a story of what goes on with this unit, and I do like that. As a fan of Lascaria and the Velenos, I love when a unit's like art goes in across the story of the unit and tells us what's happened. It's great. So then we've got our grade 1. Apprentice Magic Caster Berucrea. When placed by riding from the grade 0, Soul Blast 1, search your deck or hand for up to a total of 3 magic cards with different card names. Then put them in the order zone. If you search the deck, shuffle the deck. If you put 1 or more cards from hand, draw a card. Cool. So these sound pretty important to the gameplay. We're going to talk about them super quick before we move on, right? You've got your 3 magic orders. We're going to start with the grade 1. Because if you're going second, you can automatically do grade 1 stuff. Because grade 1, wow, logic. We've got Enhanced Magic Starl King. You may only have 1 copy of this in the deck. And all of these have the same ability, like first ability. You may only have 1 copy of X in the deck. And the same kind of second part to second ability. Act Order Zone if you have a grade 1 or greater Vanguard with Magic Caster in its card name. Restriction, but fixed. Rest this card, choose one of your units, and it gets power plus 5k until end of turn. Second part of that ability, you cannot rest any magics in your order zone other than by the ability of your unit with Magic Caster in its card name until end of turn. So they all have that secondary ability, but if you go second, you can put these 3 all up into your order zone, rest this one, plus 5k to your Vanguard. I'm swinging 13. Then if you put down a trigger, like a 15k shield, there is still a chance for me to break through it. It's pretty nice. So there's our grade 1. Grade 2, Growth Magic, Voxel. Look, she's doing magic. And all of these are her like learning some magics and getting slightly older. Very nice. Same continuous, you may only have 1 copy. Act Order Zone, this one has a lot of text, so breathe with me. If you If you have a grade 2 or greater Vanguard with Magic Caster in its card name, rest this card, draw a card. You cannot rest any magics in your order zone under the Magic Caster. This ability is lost until the end of the fight. Period. Cool. So it's on your grade 2 turn, free draw. Just draw a card. Full stop. Second ability, second act order zone if you have a grade 2 or greater Vanguard with Magic Caster in its card name. Rest this card, draw a card, choose a card from your hand, and discard it. Then you cannot rest other magics unless by an ability. So, good for filtering on your grade 2 turn, pretty solid, or good for drawing on your grade 2 plus turn, pretty solid past that, you know, like filtering is important, you know, sometimes you've got like a ton of cards in your hand, especially in Stoicheia where you're like, I'd rather this be in my drop zone, and then you just work on it and fix it, right? That's what happens. And lastly, Healing Magic Ix Lunis. I'm not certain if I say that correctly, but like to be fair, I'm just a little Italian guy, so fuck off. Look, she's learned how to do some healing magic. She's healing a leg. Good for her. You only have one copy. Wow, crazy. Continuous Order Zone. When a unit would be called by this card's ability, that called unit's auto abilities do not activate from that call. So on-place abilities do not activate, specifically because it says from that call. If, however, instead you have an on-swing ability, or act or continuous abilities, those still activate. Act Order Zone. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Magic Caster in its card name, rest this card, choose a non-sentinel normal unit from your drop zone, call it to rearguard circle. You cannot rest magic, blah, 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 right? So, pretty solid. From your ride line, you've got power gain, you've got card draw, and you've got field retention. So, pretty solid, but let's continue with the ride line, because this kind of feels like it spoils a little bit of what's going to go on with the deck, right? We all thinking it. And if you know what the deck does, then yeah, it does that. Alright, into the grade 2. Peerless Magic Caster Berucrea. When this unit is rode upon by the grade 3, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 2 cards from among them, discard them, and shuffle. So it says choose up to 2, so if you check top 7 and it's all triggers, you don't have to do anything. You know, keep those in your deck. They're pretty useful there, right? Yeah. But if you see one useful card, you can toss that and shuffle the other one back away. If you see 2 or more, you can grab those 2 and put them into your drop zone. This deck does like having a good couple cards in its drop zone, so that's a solid ability. So then lastly in our ride line, we've got Great Magic Caster of Eternity, Berucrea. Of course, I had to get the SR. Very shiny, very pretty. I love the silver, and my one gripe, and it's not that big of a gripe with SRs, is that like they don't have a texture, but I know that's what FFRs are for, so don't mind me too much. I just like textures, I really do. Whoops, well, deck over. Goodbye. So, she's got a couple abilities. Let's hop into them. Auto Vanguard Circle. When you play a Grand Magic Order or activate the act ability of a magic in the Order Zone, choose one of your units. Gets power plus 5k until end of turn. So you get to choose any of your units. Her, front row, back row, any one of them gets 5k. And then second ability, Soul Blast 1, rest a magic from the Order Zone. Choose an act ability of the magic, rest for this cost, activate it without paying the cost. Good stuff. Then at the end of the battle, this unit attacked, counterblast 1, stand this unit, drive becomes 0 until end of turn. So the way this works is you can rest 1, call a card, Soul Blast 1, rest a second, and then give plus 5k. Because you rested this one, you can give another plus 5k. And then if you play the Grand Magic Order, which you should be almost every turn unless you went first, you get to spread basically 20k power across the board to your field. It's pretty damn solid. And then Restanding Vanguard, you know, it's generally been pretty good. It's been seen as a good kind of thing across the years in Cardfight Vanguard. So what else the deck got for us going into our grade 3s? Persona! Who could have seen that coming? Who could have seen that coming? So then we've got our Grand Magic Order. Eternal Grand Magic Sigre Los, I think. I'm not certain. Please don't kill me if I got it wrong. And if you do kill me, how did you find my house? So, very cool art. Love this little magic. Anyway, this card can be played from drop zone, and play this. If you have a Vanguard with Berucrea in its card name, your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, and your Order Zone has 3 or more different magics. Really making sure it's restrictive, because golly, they don't fuck around. Then bind this card, and your Vanguard's drive does not decrease by that unit's effects until end of turn. So if you went second, you swing twice with your Vanguard, both of which have twin drive. Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Cool. So then we've got our grade 2s. Boom! 4 copies of the Mythish, because the Mythish was made specifically for this deck. So, what is it? Firstly, it's gorgeous. I love this FFR. I made a trade to get it, because I genuinely would rather have this than some of my Keter Sanctuary randoms. It's got a lot of abilities. Don't be don't be intimidated by it. But firstly, its name is Mythish of Eternity, Nils Vaegr. Be careful with the name, because I could have sworn in a video that I watched someone just said the N-word instead. Don't, unless maybe you are black and your friends find that joke hilarious, in which case, good for you guys, power to you. But they were white, and I would rather white people, not say the N-word when we're playing Cardfight Vanguard, because Cardfight Vanguard is a great game with an accepting community, so let's keep it that way. So, here's the long-ass ability. If you have Vanguard continuous, if you have a Vanguard with Berucrea in its card name, this card gets all of the following. So it has none of the following if you don't have a Berucrea Vanguard. Continuous, this card cannot be affected by the continuous abilities of the healing magic Aix Lunis in your order zone. Okay, so its on-place abilities can happen when being placed by your order. Interesting. When this unit is placed on rearguard circle, counterblast 1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with Berucrea in its card name or 1 grand magic from among them, reveal it, put it to hand, shuffle deck. If you didn't reveal a card, draw a card. So, good little backup, on place, basically guarantee a draw somehow, some way, some form. And then second ability, or fourth ability, goddamn, when your grade 3 or greater Vanguard attacks, this unit gets power plus 5k until end of turn. So, it's a 20k beater that searches out Persona Rides, searches out your anti-dropping to 0 drive check order. Really good. Continuing on, we've got the other grade 2. Is it Amiable Fairy? Amiable Fairy? I don't know. Who cares? She's cute. Look at her. Ooh, so cutesy. She could belong as a Valeno. 2 abilities. When this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Berucrea and its card name, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, discard it, shuffle the deck. Then, auto rearguard circle, when this unit attacks, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Berucrea and its card name, and this unit was placed on rearguard circle from drop zone this turn, this unit gets plus 15k. Big power. But, there's only so many ways to call from drop zone in a given turn, so it's really not as bad as you might think. So then, this is where, decks start to differ a little bit, because these have all been just like, well, yeah, you're going to run it. It came out with the deck. I'm personally running what's his name? Because I haven't really read it before. Flame Leaf, Chaotic Dance, Hakusui, and Remred. The Lettuce and the Dragon. Good card, genuinely, which is why we are running our plant token. When this unit is placed from rearguard circle, or on rearguard circle, from hand, other than during the battle phase, you may call a plant token. You're not forced to, but if you're in a situation where it would be beneficial to have it, you might as well, right? Then, counterblast 1 and perform one of the following. You, the player, get all of your rearguards that were placed by your card's ability this turn, get power plus 5k until end of turn. Solid. Or, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets power plus 5k until end of turn. If you have 4 or more units, it gets plus 10k instead. I personally really like this because you can spread 20k around with your Vanguard. On Persona Ride, you've spread technically 10k to the front row, 20k to general across the board. You can do another 10k. And since you're a restanding Vanguard deck, it'll make your Vanguard more terrifying. That being said, it is also really good for the early rush because this deck doesn't keep too big of a hand, even though it's got multi-attack and 4 drive checks. It doesn't draw too super much, so it's pretty solid to be able to have something like this where you can rush earlier. Then, lastly, for our grade 2s, Protection Twin Cast. Choose one of your units being attacked, plus 10k until end of battle. Then, Focus. Continuous. This card's auto ability can be resolved even if you have resolved a Regardless piece this fight. Auto drop zone when your unit is attacked. Remove this card from drop zone. Choose one of your units being attacked. Plus 50k until end of battle for each grade of that unit. Solid. Really good protection. The deck needs it because the deck is, like I said, doesn't keep too big of a hand. So, necessary. Then getting into the grade 1s. Let's do it this way. We've got the most unfortunate card in the deck. Conceited Noble, Philander. I hate this card with a burning passion. I wish they had made it just simply say, if your Vanguard is Zorga on the continuous ability, because then less decks would run it. This is one of the craziest generic wink wink nudge nudge that they've ever made for Stoicheia. When this unit's placed on Rearguard Circle from hand, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, discard it, shuffle the deck, then continuous Rearguard Circle during your turn if your drop zone has 10 or more cards. This unit gets plus 10k. It's an 18k booster / beater, which you might not think is that much, but this guy's 20. This is 2k less. It just can't intercept. Woo. Crazy shit. Really strong, right? And in a deck that wants to see cards in its drop zone to be able to call them and, thin out the deck to get as many, non-triggers out of the deck, it's pretty solid. There's not really a good replacement for it. Sorry, I just need to say. But if there's other cards that have, like, decent boosting abilities, like there's, or other cards that can help you rush early game, like the mushrooms, you can run those instead. Genuinely, this is just my personal preference because I have like every Stoicheia card ever. I'm a little chud. I'm sorry. So then we've got Treetop Bowhunter Trita. Tree, right? Auto drop zone when you play a Grand Magic Order. If you do not have a rearguard with the same card name as this card, call this card to Rearguard Circle. If you called, plus 2k. Really good. So free field whenever you play your order. Continuous Rearguard Circle. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Berucrea and its card name, this unit gets intercept and can intercept from the back row. Lastly, when put on Guardian Circle, Energy Blast 3, this unit gets plus 10k shield until end of battle. So free field every turn, basically. Intercept from back row, 15k shield. This is our main place where we're going to end up using all of our energy because 15k shield on a grade 1 is gnarly. And of course it calls itself back to field, so you'd want to see Philander in your back row, this behind your Vanguard, and then the rest of the 3 of these genuinely in your hand probably. But it's not the end of the world if you don't, especially if you're playing against something that's going to bind your stuff or shove it to soul. So then lastly, we run 3 PGs and 1 Elementaria. I'm just running the shiny Elementaria because I get tired of moving my Elementarias around. Realistically, the Elementaria that you use is completely based on what meta you're in. I do think the current meta is not really calling for this one, but it'll come back around, and we all know that it will. So lastly, triggers. We're going to blast these out. As per always, the triggers are the most controversial thing. If you, disagree with my trigger preference, your trigger preference is wrong. And if I disagree with your trigger preference, my trigger preference is wrong. So firstly, we're gonna run Valnaught. I like Valnaught genuinely because restanding rearguards is funny. In a Vanguard deck where you get 4 drive checks, if you have a restanding rearguard, there's a high chance that either your Vanguard or rearguard got a critical. Excuse me. So I think 100k or 100 million, with a critical's funny. We're gonna run 3 and 4 of the crits, so 7 total. I know realistically you should just be running Bless Favor. It's a Stoicheia Nation deck, so just run Bless Favor. The Stoicheia over trigger is just genuinely overpowered. We're running 4 Tier Knight Rothion. It just goes to soul when you're done guarding with it. And also it's a front trigger. You're going to be swinging with your rear guards before your Vanguard, after your Vanguard, so might as well. And then lastly, 3 regular heals and 1 multi-attack heal, because we're kind of genuinely in a meta where multi-attack is king. That all being said, I'll make it all squeaky. I'm going to take a pause, and then I'm going to do a quick little turn 3 demonstration of how this deck works, and we're going to go from there. Right? Cool. Wow, we are going. So what I failed to say before was that what I was actually going to do was a turn 1, 2, and 3, just to kind of like show you a little bit of how the deck plays early and on, just to genuinely give you a little look into the deck, right? I kind of misspoke, but I don't really care, so it's okay. We all understand sometimes that being an adult or human in general means you misspeak. So we're going to say I'm going second. We're going to, assume for X amount of Y, whatever, etc., etc. I've got my energy generator up here in the top left, but I'm going to keep it kind of off screen so that way I don't make too much clutter. And we're going to go ahead, stand and draw for turn, right? We've got pretty good early rush card, pretty good callback card, and then also card that can be played from drop zones. We're going to discard. Ride. I'm going to do the grade 1's ability, Soul Blast 1, search deck, and get these 3. Of course, generate energy, and then draw for going second. We've got some pretty solid stuff, so we're just going to call this. And then we're going to rest the grade 1 order to give our Vanguard plus 5k. So this is 13k, drive check, 8k. And then, do as follows. Let's say they attack twice. So we're going to take 1. Oh, heal trigger, power to my Vanguard, so they're going to swing here at my rear guard. Who cares, right? Because it's the grade 2 rear guard. It's going to call itself back. Stand, draw. Never forget to stand your orders because your orders are quite important. There's just not a ton of room on the screen, so bear with me. We've got pretty good hand. We're going to ditch this to ride the grade 2. And then we're going to call him, have a little bit of grade 2 gaming going on. And then what we'll think about is I've got all these cards to guard with, and then this card that I will either discard to ride next turn or something of the sort. So we can either call this and pressure more, oopsies, sorry, or we can just keep going. Personal opinion, I think I'm just going to go with the turn as it is. Before I do that, we're going to rest the grade 2 order and draw a card. So now that we see that we've got some better discard fodder, we'll go ahead and call this. Check top 3. See a Philander, ditch it. Might as well get bigger drop zone. Shuffle. Zoop. And we're not going to do the best shuffling because shuffling's for people who have time. So we're going to swing 10k. Obviously, I could have done this ability, but it would have just given plus 10k or plus 5k here. And honestly, it's not worth the waste of counterblast to this turn. Twin cast, swing 10k, and then swing 15k. Kind of like Katrina, but worse, like a lot worse. So they're grade 3, take a damage, take a second damage, crit, power to Vanguard. We'll double intercept, and then guard once more with 15, 30. So just to make it like that, right? So then we will stand, draw, energy charge 3. We're at 9. We just got another of the order, so we're going to ditch that to ride our grade 3. When rode upon by the grade 3, top 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. Hilarious joke. We like this card in the drop zone. Well, I like one of them in the drop zone, and the other can stay in the deck because it's not a bad card to draw into. Help you see, your next Persona Ride or Grand Magic orders, so it's solid. So we will go ahead, and we don't have anything we can play from hand, but there's not a problem with that. Rest that to choose a card to call from drop zone. Looking at it, I think genuinely this card would be better, but this card would also provide me a draw this turn. So we're going to go ahead and call that. Use its ability because it can ignore the fact that that nullifies on place abilities. Counterblast 1, top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wow, no Berucrea. Wow, shuffle and draw. Cool. Draw a card. Oh wow, we've got some pretty good guard in our hand. So then we're gonna go back to our drop zone. We're gonna play this from drop. We're gonna bind it, so I'm just gonna turn it sideways and leave it over here. Oh, excuse me, sorry. We played this order, so we're going to give plus 5k to this token. We're playing this order, we're going to give plus 5k to this token. And then this card's going to call itself and give itself plus 2k. Move that forward. And then we're going to Soul Blast 1, rest the grade 1 order. Boom. And then we're going to give our Vanguard plus 5k and give this plus 5k. I know that doesn't seem too super crazy, but considering our moderately defensive hand / field, he's going to bulk himself up, and I'm sure you guys probably heard that freak. So we're going to swing. God, that thing's loud. 18k, Twin Drive. Check 1, check 2. Nice. End of battle. Counter Blast 1. Restand. Because I used the order, it doesn't lose any drives. Here's 18 boosted by 10 makes 28. Twin Drive. Dry. This Berucrea player is dead as hell, just by the way. They just drove checked all the driest shit. So this got 5, 10, 15, 20. And then this is also 20. So realistically, we wouldn't have even hit over a trigger. You know, that kind of sucks ass. Oh, well, let's see what happens. Oh, take 2 damage. Oh, double triggers. We're just going to guard. We're going to use 6 energy for that. Guard, right? Let's pretend we did that one more turn, just for fun. Stand, draw, Persona, right? This is when the deck actually starts being good. I say being good, but like most decks are like this, generally. Like, they want to go to their next turn Persona right at least once. We're going to rest our grade 3 order, and we're actually going to call this card from drop. And then we've got a couple cards that we can do in our hand, as you see. We'll start with Philander. We're going to call him over here. Actually, I think we want the plant in the front row because Philander is valuable. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that to order to drop. Shuffle. And then because we played in order, we're going to give 5k to our Vanguard. And then we're going to Soul Blast 1 to play the other 5k order. We're going to put 5k here and 5k here. So now we're at 10k, or excuse me, 10k plus 5. We're going to bind this from our drop zone plus 5k here. So 5, 5, 10. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So plus 10k to Philander, as well as we played the order. So this calls in plus 2k. So now we're going to swing Persona Ride 23 plus 10k, 33, Twin Drive. Check 1, front trigger, beautiful. Check 2, Elementaria. Counterblast 1, because of the order we don't lose drives, so we swing. This is 33 plus front, 43 plus 10k booster, 53, Twin Drive. Check. Crit. We're going to go ahead and put all effects here. Second check, nil. So then we're going to swing here, 10, 20, 30 from the Persona in front. Personal ability, plus 15, so 30, 45, plus 5k from Vanguard, 50, plus crit, 60 with a crit, crazy. And then we're going to swing here. Whoops. So this is 18 plus 10k, so 28, front 38, Persona 48. And then, you know, obviously it's not that beneficial in this situation to, you know, give the crit over here because this would have made it 58. So I guess it would have been basically the same card. But, you know, you look at your hand and you're like, wow, I genuinely don't have that bad of a hand. But at the same time, you really do. This deck, you know, relies on these cards specifically to make sure that you have actual decent defense. But that is the general how to play, what to do. So let's cut over to the next part of the video. So, final thoughts. What do I think? Not much. I don't think much, really. Final thoughts are, I think the deck is genuinely squeaky, like my chair. I think the deck is genuinely a great deck in Standard right now. Having a multi-attacking Vanguard as well as some okay-ish drop zone recurrence makes it solid. but not great. It's another deck like the Kai Icon deck, where with a little bit of luck, and same thing with deep lands, it will just do its thing and win games. There's no stopping it. It will just do its thing. That being said, I do genuinely feel like the deep lands deck is still better because it's got better drop zone recurrence, as well as more solid rearguard numbers while hitting worse vanguard numbers and relying less on triggers. Luck sacking is genuinely a really good thing. Obviously, you can win so many games like that. I do that so often with my Lascaria deck because Lascaria is my number one. But that doesn't make the deck good. It makes the deck fun. That being said, to really finalize this video, last couple thoughts that I have, I think the deck is enjoyable. And if you really like the art style, I would highly recommend picking it up. It gets more support here in a couple weeks at time of recording, which is the 10th. And then, of course, in the future, it'll probably get more support, maybe. And this is just, coming from a rambling old man. There's potential for it to get a Phantom version because it's in the Phantome, whatever you want to call it, anime as one of the main characters. Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. Why do you know? How do you know? Are you watching this after you know? Why are you coming back to this? What the hell? Weird. That being said, I've got a couple other things lined up. Firstly, my Deep Lands deck is coming together. I'm waiting on 2 more cards to have it. But I'm also going to space out my own personal pacing because I don't want to tire myself out of this thing that I do with my free time. Because when you do things with your free time and you bore yourself of that free thing, you're just wasting your free time. So it's my free time. Let me do it how I want it. One of the other things is I've been reading the Vanguard Skyride manga, and I want to have a genuine discussion about it. I think it's worth talking about, worth discussing whether or not they're going to potentially make an anime adaptation, or if they're going to, oh, this is where it currently left off, so here's our new set of characters, and that's where the anime begins. There's potential for that. There's potential for a lot of other things. The Youthquake manga never officially got translated to English, but is also something I would like to discuss. Storhaja, officially our first bug deck around the time Lascaria came out in D series. So there's a lot to it, and genuinely I think there's another bug deck in Youthquake. So I want to discuss Youthquake at some point too. I love Cardfight Vanguard, the media in general. I don't particularly love where this current season of the anime is going, but that doesn't mean I hate it. I enjoy it. So that all being said, I think that's all I have for today's purposes and discussion and everything included. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe if you want to see whatever else I plan on documenting about myself, my life, Cardfight Vanguard in general. To each their own kind of thing, right? I won't be upset if you don't subscribe or like, and I won't be upset if you do, because that would be really weird of me. I am putting myself out publicly, but it's as per always, I really would rather just, have this to be something that I do for my own personal sake of, acknowledging where the game is. And maybe at some point I want to talk about the state of premium and where Mega Colony lands in that, especially with all the ban lists and unfortunate lack of, tournaments in this current day and age. So we'll get there when we get there, as per always. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around to the end and listening to my ramblings. The deck itself is very fun, and I would highly recommend picking it up. That being said, that's all I got today. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your card fights, and comment your favorite deck, and I will tell you why it shouldn't be. Goodbye.